Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details, and I wanted to share a video with you guys on how to prep a used vehicle, for selling. Whether it be privately or you want to take it in and trade it into a dealership. A lot of times dealerships will tell you that if you clean it, they're not going to really give you any more value for it, but especially if you're looking to sell it privately, a good detail can go a long ways. So I want to show you what we're working with and what I'm going to do on this vehicle to kind of help any of you who maybe you want to sell your vehicle, get maximum dollar for it, and ways to kind of make it look a lot better and get max dollar for your sell. So let's get into it. Alright, so you can see tires and wheels need a good scrub down. Our headlights are yellowed and oxidized, so they need a good polishing. We're not going to do a wet sanding. I'm just looking to enhance at this point. We're going to give the engine a very thorough degreasing, light agitation, rinse, and a dressing just to enhance it, especially here on the back side of the hood. Paint has a lot of oxidation on it. It's just very flat. There's almost no reflection to it whatsoever. I would wager to say that it is single stage paint, because you can see even on the door jamb we've got reflection, but then when you look at the actual paint, there's absolutely no reflection. So we're going to go ahead and do an enhancement on this. Again, $300 budget. I'm not looking to break the bank. I'm going to give the customer 7 hours of work. That's essentially what $300 would get. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to allot 2.5 hours for the interior, and the remainder of the time is going to be spent on the exterior. With our wash, we're going to do a very quick clay bar, try to remove some of the rail dust. Again, we're not going for perfection. I'm just looking to enhance the paint, give it back its shine. We're going to work on our headlights in the engine bay, tires and wheels, get those dressed, cleaned, and good quality wax on there. That'll give it good shine. I'm not necessarily in this moment looking for longevity. I'm looking for something that's going to give us a lot of shine. So let's kind of work through this process. I'll show you the chemicals that I would recommend. You could probably choose a variety of chemicals, and I have dozens to be able to utilize. So I'm going to go for affordability and also something that's going to give me a great final look, but not necessarily break the bank where, I'm going to be losing money on this detail. But for any of you who are a weekend warrior, or maybe wanting to get a friend's vehicle ready to sell, here's just some tips and tricks on ways to get a vehicle ready to sell. First and foremost, you want to get your interior cleaned. This had a lot of cigarette ash stains. There were coffee stains in the seats. Sidebar, I absolutely love shampooing seats like these. They can be a nightmare if there is old stains and you kind of reactivate them and they come to the surface, so you do have to watch for wicking with this fabric. But these are some of the easiest seats to spot clean and also to shampoo. Again, there's products out there, chemicals that you can use to kind of help prevent wicking, and sometimes you just have to keep going over the spot until you don't have any more residue coming up. But they are one of the best fabrics to clean up. So for moms, anyone looking for, you know, the best kind of fabric for an interior, you want to kind of keep this kind of fabric. It's like a suede fabric. I like it because you can do nice designs in it to kind of give it that fresh, clean look. But we went ahead, vacuumed everything, removed all of the ash. We shampooed all of the seats to remove any stains. We also did Folex on all of the armrests to kind of do a light touch up. If there were any spots on the backs of the seats, I either shampooed or used Folex on them. We spot cleaned our headliner. We went ahead and used ADG F-Bomb. You can use any all-purpose cleaner really to do a thorough scrubbing on all of our vinyl. I did use a magic eraser. I don't know if any of you noticed that, especially these areas here where people get in and out of the vehicle and the bottom of their shoes can scratch it. Magic erasers are fantastic on this type of fabric. I know a lot of detailers scoff at using it. You have to use common sense, especially like on steering wheels. This is the kind of material that if you are too aggressive, you'll start to kind of strip it, because magic erasers, again, are the equivalent of about 5,000 grit sandpaper. So they have their place within the detailing world, and in my opinion, they're perfect for substrates such as this, the hard vinyl plastic. You definitely don't want to be super aggressive. This, you don't want to go super aggressive. You can remove the plastic coating and remove the dye and scratch it. So for surfaces that are textured like this, just be mindful. But this was a previously smoked in vehicle, so I used the magic eraser for all the glass to remove any of the smoker's film, and then I went ahead and used Lat 26 Screen and Glass Clean, one of my favorite glass cleaners, especially when we've got really grimy glass. Went ahead, cleaned everything from head to toe. And then also, the customer didn't want an ozone treatment. I would recommend that if you have smoke damage or anything like that, but he just really wanted a quality air freshener, so that's why when I shampooed, I used a shampoo chemical that has an enzyme eater in it to kind of go after any of the odor-causing bacteria. So we did a thorough shampoo to remove as much of the smell as possible. I'll recommend that he change the cabin filter, so that way if there's any remaining smoke smell, hopefully that will kind of combat it. Ideally, you would want to do a thorough shampoo, steam clean everything, degrease, and then do the ozone treatment. We don't have time nor the budget for that today. So I can tell you, if someone were to put their nose in this vehicle, not only does it look clean, it smells clean. I actually use Chemical Guy's leather scent because it has that new car smell. I really enjoy it. It's not anything that's over the top. It has kind of an authentic car smell. So I just sprayed that heavily, not super heavily, just about 2-3 squirts in each section, just to kind of give us, especially I paid attention down here where the air comes in. That way when the airflow comes on, it kind of picks up that smell and spreads it throughout the cabin. So next up, we're going to work on our door jambs, our engine bay, and our wash. Alright, so one of the first things we're going to do on the exterior is we're going to just go ahead and get our headlights taken care of. A lot of times people will say, oh, you got a wet sand and 2K clear coat. That is the best for the longest term. But in this moment, we are looking to get the vehicle ready to sell. So we are looking for enhancements. I'm not looking for deception. This will polish. This will remove the yellowing, the oxidation. But once you get headlights that are kind of in this condition, they're already so deteriorated that you're going to be playing this constant game of catch up until you get them replaced or completely resurfaced. So this is what you can do for an affordable option for any of you who are wanting to kind of frequently maintain. So what we're going to do, I have here my Meguiar's MT300. This was the first polisher that I purchased. It's a DA, very user-friendly for beginners. I have a 3-inch backing plate on here, and I also have the LC purple wool pad. This is actually a kit that you can pick up from McKees 37 for their all-in-one headlight restoring polish. And there we're in the shot. The all-in-one headlight restoring polish. So we're just going to go ahead, give us a good shake. We're going to apply it kind of in an X. X marks the spot. There we go. And we're going to kiss this out and work it into our headlight. And I'm going to keep this in real time so you can see just how fast this product can work. You can see from our pad, we picked up all that yellowing onto our pad. I'm going to use the same pad on our other headlight, but you can just see what a drastic transformation just with one quick pass. Honestly, I did 2 passes. I wasn't, taking my sweet time. You want to be mindful of your edges, especially with your backing plate. If you feel like you need to tape it off, you can, but this isn't a rotary where I'm going to really be burning the paint. The only thing you have to be mindful of is, your backing plate making contact with paint, so just keep that. Be aware. But we'll come over here and we'll do our second headlight. Alright, and so that's our left headlight. Both headlights are done in under 7 minutes. That's true time. That's even with me talking and getting repositioned, so probably more like 6.5. Yeah, there you go. Headlights done. Now let's move on to the engine. Alright, engine is done. We used super clean 1-to-1 in a IK foamer, agitated with a brush. We first did a high pressure rinse at a safe distance, and we did the top of the hood, and we also degreased. There was some oil leakage on the left. We were able to kind of remove that, give it a nice clean look, and then we use our X-Power blower, blow to dry, and then we use our Hyperdressing 4-to-1 to dress our plastics. Now we're just going to start the car and let the heat from the engine finish drying it off. You might have a little bit of a squeaky belt, but it'll wear off once it kind of warms up the water. You're good to go. Alright, so I just did a quick test spot. You can see we have already enhanced gloss. We actually have a reflection. We haven't had that at all. You can kind of see where I stopped right here. This was a test spot that I had done earlier with a different product. I had tested out 3 different products to see if I wanted to use those, but I went on a whim. I thought I was going to end up using DPC Flash Pro because it is a heavy cutting all-in-one. And when I was beginning with detailing, I used to use Meguiar's Cleaner Wax. It's a retail product, very similar to their paint reconditioning cream, but I found it had a little bit more abrasive to it, cleaning aspects. And I was like, man, I really wish I had that because I gave it to my dad. And then I remembered that I had done a review a while back on this product, Meguiar's 3-in-1 Wax. And this is, from what I recall, very similar to the Cleaner Wax as far as being able to clean the paint, polish, and protect all in one. It does have some fillers in it, and that's okay, because in this moment I actually want fillers because this paint has been so poorly neglected. It is single stage, and the way I know that is because my pad is white. So we've got paint transfer. It could be oxidation, but I'm pretty confident single stage just because of how flat it is all over. I mean, it's just, this is one of the nastiest paints I've ever experienced. So I'm hoping to not spend a whole lot of time. That's why I'm liking the 3-in-1 wax in this moment. And we're probably going to even take it another level with Meguiar's and top it with their fast finish just to give us even more gloss and give us a little bit more protection. So just wanted to show you. Again, I know it's kind of hard to see, but you can see right here where I did my test spot. And then over here. So Meguiar's 3-in-1 wax, available on a retail level. And I'm using the orange forest pads from LC, and I'm getting really good clarity on this paint so far. So let's keep moving, and I just wanted to show you what kind of results we're getting. Alright, so here's our finished look. We did a very quick enhancement using Meguiar's 3-in-1 cleaner wax, and we topped it with DPC Reflect. It's a fantastic spray wax that has some filling capabilities just to kind of enhance, and it's a very glossy spray wax. You can see the fact that we actually have somewhat of a reflection. Again, I was not going for paint perfection. There was no reflection whatsoever in this paint as of this morning, and now you can actually see the sky. We got our headlights polished, tires and wheels cleaned and dressed. I have a high gloss solvent based tire dressing on there just so that way for pictures it shows up better. We went ahead and did a dressing or treatment on our trim, and the exterior looks fantastic. Let me show you what we have going on the inside. Everything has been cleaned. Door jambs have been degreased and wiped down. So when a potential buyer opens them up, everything looks nice and fresh and clean. Areas that we paid attention to were especially the driver's side, your glass, and then you can see here in the back, we just have a nice consistent clean. This is day and night compared to what this vehicle was like when I first got it yesterday. You can add a lot of value to a vehicle that's been neglected with a quality detail, but you don't have to break the bank. I used a retail product to polish it. I did use a DA, but you can use a random orbital as well. That's a product that really doesn't require, you know, heavy passes, thick pads. I used an orange pad and maybe 2 passes before I was seeing the results that I wanted, and just did a quick wipe off. I was able to remove kind of the dullness from the single stage paint. We use Super Clean on the engine, Super Clean for our wheel wells and inner wheels, and then I did use my McKees 37 foaming wheel cleaner because the wheels had some caked on stuff, but I used Super Clean on the tires. I used Super Clean and 80G F-Bomb on the door jambs. I did use a professional carpet cleaning chemical for the carpets and seats just because of the smoke, but you can see night and day. Hopefully, you know, whoever purchases it is going to notice the amount of detail that was put into getting this vehicle ready to be sold. So again, engine bay, headlights, tires, wheels, and wheel wells, make sure they're clean. Paint clean. Doesn't have to be clay barred, doesn't have to have an iron decontamination, but we did do a thorough wash, a quick enhancement, topped it with a spray wax that's going to give it good gloss. And you can see, considering we had absolutely no reflection, it's a cloudy day unfortunately, so it's not going to be very satisfying with sun shots, but you can actually see a reflection of the sky in the hood, so that's a huge turnaround. And then we've got our interior completely cleaned, smelling great, spots shampooed, you know, everything has been degreased and touched up. Doesn't take a lot of time. It took me 2.5 hours on the interior, and it took me about 5 hours total on the exterior, and we got this vehicle ready to go. So thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate your support, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments down below, and we will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.